get my camera to turn back on.
Well, it looked like you went to like drop your phone or something and it turned off.
Well, no, like I was putting it on my phone stand, and now this has happened. I've been having, it keeps wanting to keep me sideways. This is the first time it's done this, but hang on.
Okay.
Because do you have that much trouble with it trying to kick you sideways?
Yes. And I back out and then I go, like I push the plus sign on the YouTube app again and it'll show like a scheduled live on top. So I'll just click back into it. Sometimes it takes a couple tries, but it works. I see you.
All right.
I hear you.
All right, guys. Whew.
Okay. I washed my hair. I needed to. It was time. Oh.
Yeah, Cody got home like right at 6:40, so we were getting a shower and then eating. Hey, Lila. Let me share it to all the places.
Yep, I'm working on Discord places.
Okay, well, that's all I share mine to. Is Discord. I don't share mine to Facebook.
Okay. All right. Well, Discord is shared. I know, Lila. YouTube has been so weird and glitchy. I'm seeing this picture that Erin posted of her and her kitty in the Discord, and I have to like turn my head to the side to recognize her. Hello, Alyssa. Yes, yes. Haley is going live tonight.
What are you crocheting tonight?
I am going to continue working on mallards. Between this morning and last night, I finished 3 mallards, but I have the heads and the necks for all the rest of them. These are a bit slower going because I have to use the plush yarn for the brown.
Gross.
Yeah. So it's slightly bigger. Like, they look fine, but it's hard on the hands. They just look like they have a chubbier butt. See?
I'm editing, so I can't look right this second.
Fine. Alyssa says, better than me. I haven't even gotten a crochet yet. Been playing on my phone and watching Lost. I loved Lost. Hi, Daniela.
Hello.
Thanks, Alyssa. This is a little chubby. But
Oop, go ahead.
I was gonna say I even washed my face. That's basically it. Just fill again.
Oh. I was gonna tell him I was editing the video, so.
I will not ruin it for you, Alyssa.
Don't ruin what?
The show Lost.
Oh.
What I can say is that it's definitely worth watching it all the way to the end. And in zero circumstances could you guess the ending. It's that far out there. So it's worth watching all the way through. Yes, Lila. The decks you have. The Haley yesterday was working on little yellow versions of them. And then today she was making white versions of them.
No,
Did you
chicken.
also do? Okay. My brain
So-
is like, wait a minute.
Which, if you would just give me time, like, girl, I'm about to go over what I'm doing. If you would just give me a minute. I don't go live enough. I don't do this full time.
Okay.
I'm never the one having to do all the editing and the stuff. Mm. So I made I made these. So this is kind of looks like a white duck right now, but these are gonna be turned into chickens. So I'm gonna do a yellow beak, a wattle, and a comb for these to make chickens out of these 5. And then these are the yellow ducks Cat was telling you about. I made 5 of these, so that's 10 so far. But I also started on white ducks because I didn't have that much white yarn left with me, and it's the only thing I took with me today because I didn't know how much time I was going to have to crochet at work. So I have 2 completely done. So I got 6 bodies done at work. And then I started on this one, and I was about 3 rows in when I got home. So then when I got home and finished eating, I finished this one, and now I'm working on another one.
Woo, productivity.
Yep. This week is taking the Squishy Memos pattern and making all of the things. So when I get done with the white ducks, the things I have left is mallards and penguins. So
Jasmine.
hello.
Alyssa said, I need to finish my penguins, but I will finish my game first. I don't blame
Fair
you.
enough. Fair enough.
I've been playing this, is it Farmville? I think it's Farmville on my phone. And then on my iPad, embarrassingly enough, I have a supermarket simulator game where I just disappear into the abyss of constantly restocking shelves and buying product and just over and over again every day.
Yes. Well, for the girls in the chat, y'all give Kat some props. She was ready at 8 o'clock to go live.
I was.
I just told
her to sleep.
7:30.
My mind, I was thinking, like, I thought it was 7:30, and then I'm like, but that's 8:30 my time. but I was stuck on 8. I just wasn't sure. I don't even know. So, but Rowan actually went to bed at 8 o'clock, and I know that that's why you picked 7:30, 8:30, because I had to get Rowan to sleep, and yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't schedule this one or anything. I I said it yesterday, so thank you. Um, but like this was just spur of the moment because this will probably be the time that I go live. So like when the baby comes, Cuddy will probably take the time that he gets off work after he gets a shower. Hey Kathy. Um, that he'll be with the baby. So then I'll have an hour to kill on live. So I'm trying to get into a routine once baby comes. So
This does work, Alyssa, for sure.
yes, it does. I thought about hopping into the cafe, but then I was like, nah, I don't feel like that many people today.
I was almost there. What was it? I saw Felicia's notification pop up. I don't remember what the timeline was now, but I feel like Felicia posted in the chat. Yes, and then like almost immediately after, Haley called me. So I'm like, okay, this is how this is going today. Which it's the same time every day. There's no surprise.
Yeah, I would have already been on the phone with Kat, but I had to drop off Rowan's birthday gift in the mail. So
He will be so excited.
well, he's getting 2 Minecraft stuffed animals that I found.
Wow. He's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Especially he's the kid that loves stuffies and loves to take them to school. You haven't taken that yet?
I forgot.
I can't say anything, but you hold your cup.
Okay. And I saw one of your lives because I was on YouTube, and I forgot that I can't watch my account on the tablet.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
And then I found your guys' live
It's funny. Like
because
this one?
I saw 9 like notifications, and then I saw the live as soon as I saw the notifications.
You're funny. Bye.
Bye.
Can you wait? Put your pill in your mouth first.
Okay.
I have 1 cat. Wait, Haley, are you back from break? Yes, I am. I went back to work today. And then I know Kat's kids went to school today.
They did. And I have 4 cats. Bye.
Bye.
He's like talking to himself on the way downstairs.
Bless it. I know I was texting you and I was like, it's like 1:30 my time. Is she getting up to get ready to get the kids off the bus?
Yeah, I think I stayed up until 10. What?
And we usually do them in my
Not right now.
Hmm.
I can't do things when I'm on live, Archer. Go. I was in the middle of talking.
car.
I'm about to lock him out. Yeah, I think I stayed awake until like 9:30 or 10 after getting the kids on the bus.
Mhm.
I was crocheting and I watched a video, and then I couldn't hack it anymore. And I laid down and I set a new alarm for like 4 hours just in case. Well, that alarm went off and I snoozed it. And it went off again and I snoozed it. And then I don't remember it going off anymore after that. So, but then I woke up to my 3 o'clock alarm to get the kids. So, I even went to bed at a kind of decent time last night. Actually, no, it was 2.
It's better than 6
This is true.
or 4 when you normally go to bed.
Mhm.
I sold 17 bracelets at dance today. I have to make all of them. Good for you.
That's cool.
I really tried to stay awake to be with you and Mandy in the cafe, but once my head hit the pillow, I was out.
I feel that. I don't remember. I think I went downstairs for a very little bit and I ate something. And I was like, nah, I can't hang. I'm going to bed. I think it, like, with my allergies acting up and my eye bothering me, like, my eyes were just so tired last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I took my. I have to go get a shower. Alright. Alright, Lila. But, as soon as I got my bag packed, it was 9:30. And so then I went and lay down because I already taken my melatonin and all of that. And by 10, I was gone. Down for the count.
Mhm. That's
Like,
nice to get some good sleep.
yeah.
Woohoo! Kathy
Good job.
just finished. Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just, you were saying good job, and I was reading it at the same time.
Go
Same thing.
ahead, man. You had already started.
I was
You
just
didn't
gonna
actually read
say,
it. You didn't read the comment, though. Finish reading it.
Kathy just finished her 8th tentacle. Now onto the body. Woohoo!
Yeah,
Are
I was
you
gonna say, but
are you also reading comments on your phone? Or not? Something else?
no, I just have my MacBook in front of me, so that way if I need to remove anybody, it's easier to do it from there than it is my
Oh.
phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I have it in front of me, and so like if I need to look down at it, I can. Because sometimes I like to double check to make sure like I haven't missed a comment or something. And
Mhm.
then, like, if I have, I like to go back to it at least. I mean, I try to keep the comments up to date. They do take the longest. I plan on making an anchor at some point this year. I think that's going to be a me project. Because that's one of my goals, is to make something for myself that I will actually enjoy. A lot of people make a wearable. I'm probably not going to wear it. I didn't wear the last thing I made, and I made it for myself. So,
I always tell myself that I'm making cardigans and stuff for myself, and then I don't ever wear them.
yeah.
But I make them to make
Hello.
myself happy. Like they're my happy project to make. But if I made a toy for myself to make myself happy, it wouldn't be for me. The kids would steal that shit.
They wouldn't be able to steal the anchor from me, though.
Rowan would try.
Well, I'm just saying, I have very tall shelves.
It would take a while. A child has to get to that monkey stage of wanting to climb on everything first.
Oh,
Mine
well,
would
see,
be able to. Yours, not so much.
yeah, well, I'm also putting a baby gate at mine, and mine's going to learn at a very early age. My craft room is off limits, so, like, I'm not bringing the baby in here at all. Like, if I'm going to craft or go live or anything like that, it has to be in a different room.
Yeah.
It will not be in my craft room if I have the baby. Because I need them to understand, like, I have sharp things in here. I have all my scissors. I have all my things you can't have, so you will not be allowed in here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You think about yarn scraps, polyfill, yarn fluffies, just little scrap pieces of paper.
yeah.
All the things.
Yeah. And that's also why I'm trying to tell myself to actually start going through the yarn that I'm not using. Because, like, I need to get down to where all the yarn is in something. So.
Mm-hmm. Kathy said, this is going to be my showpiece. I want to do a big dragon also. Too, Kathy. I think doing a really cool dragon would be really cool.
Yeah.
And then Alyssa said, my mom is going to pick up some baby blanket yarn for me tomorrow, and I want to do a few of Mandy's octos. That'll be so fun.
Yes. But, yeah.
I don't know what to do.
And then, like, we have an assembly first thing tomorrow, but it's actually going to go into first block.
Mhm.
So, like, our first block is going to be shot tomorrow, so we're not going to be able to do anything. If it takes as long as I think it will. He tries to say we're only going to be in here 30 minutes. 9:15 is the latest. Y'all be back out. Okay. No.
Never works that way.
It never does.
Goodness. Every once in a while, I still get that feeling of just gunk right there.
Yeah. I need to go ahead and take this. You still haven't taken Mucinex daily?
No.
No, I
I've
am.
been. Oh,
Because
I
you
thought you
looked
were
at me funny
asking
when I
me.
had it.
Yeah, I was like, you don't normally take meds on camera, so like I wasn't like, wait, what is that? Like I could hear it, but it took too long to register in my brain as to what it was. But then I thought you were asking me, like your medicine reminded you. Are you still not? Like no. But I did take my medicine, like my daily medicine. So there's that.
That's good. And you ate?
I did. And I've had my Red Bull and I'm working on my coffee.
Yeah, but I realized trying to go live at like 4 o'clock on a Monday, everybody's doing something on a Monday. Between like between like 3 and like 8 my time. Everybody is doing something. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just start doing it at 7:30, and then we'll just see.
Yeah. I need to find a comfier lounge chair for in here.
I love my chair.
It looks nice. I almost wish that I had sat in it while I was down there with you, just to see how comfy it actually is, like for me,
Hmm.
but it didn't.
Well, you'll be back here by March,
This is true.
so you'll be able to sit in it then.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm like, I can be so weird for chairs. Like people think they're the most comfortable thing in the world, but then like just the way that I end up sitting in it, there'll be a bar or something sticking on my back or poking me in the side. Like this is not comfortable.
I mean, like I can feel the bar, but it's not like it's actually poking me. It's more like I'm pressing the cushion down into it because the chair sinks with you.
Mm-hmm.
So like you feel like the bar is there, but like I'm not actually like pushing into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the thing. Now you may not like it with the way this bar is up at the front, but I feel like if you also had the leg thing, that may not be the issue either because you'd be stretched out instead of sitting crisscross.
Yeah. That's what I'm like. I'm just trying to find something that like I know I'm gonna sit like a maniac because I always do. I'm gonna be cross-legged. I'm gonna shift and kind of side sit. I'll probably sit on my knees at some point. I'll sit like you are now. Like all of the positions to sit will be had. And I have to think about all those different positions. Like if I am sitting to where I'm kind of like pushing back, is it going to poke into my back? If I am sitting on my feet, is it going to dig into my like ankle bones?
No, mine doesn't do any of those.
Right. Alyssa says I would love a jumbo beanbag chair for crocheting, but they are so expensive. They are. They
See, and
are.
I don't know if I would want a beanbag per se.
I think I would like the foam chairs better. Almost.
What I would really love to have is one of those recliners like April has in her videos.
Is this in recent videos?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think.
If you were looking in her video, she's sitting like this at her desk. It's the chair in the back. Because she got rid of her couch. It's her recliner.
Okay.
That's what I really want.
Mm-hmm. And I have a recliner downstairs. I don't want to bring it up here.
But see, the thing
is, go.
But see, the thing is, this recliner is not like a regular recliner. Like you can sit cross-legged in it. It has a thing on the side.
Is this the rocking or the recliner thing that like a company sent her?
I think so.
Okay, because if I would think that it's the same one that Hooks and Healers has, and probably Haley with Crochet Corner, because they were both sent a recliner like that from a company as like a sponsor thing.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I want one of those too. It looks very nice.
My dad has a Lazy Boy recline / rocker. And I love it. I'm waiting for him to hate it enough so I can get it. Sorry, y'all. I'm having hiccups and gas, so excuse me if I sound weird. I've had hiccups since I've been on the phone with you, Kat. Just
That's
weird.
annoying. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Ugh. Alyssa, I wish you the best of luck in that endeavor, because I know far too many men who are obsessed with their chairs until it is falling apart beneath them.
This is the white I have left from that fall.
That's a good amount.
Probably not enough to get a whole duck, but I can go ahead and stop here on the white ducks and go to mallards. So that's what I'll do.
You remember you need white for your mallard.
Yeah, that's why I'm rolling it up now.
Okay.
To make sure there is not a knot, because the knot sometimes happens when it gets like this.
Yeah.
It is a normal. Yeah, but it's annoying, Alyssa. It's. Yeah. Yeah, they very much did.
But just look forward to the day, Haley, when the baby's just big enough that you can feel it hiccuping inside your belly.
No.
It's funny. It tickles.
No,
and
to
then
me
you
that's
laugh it.
green and brown.
Woo!
The brown you need.
That's not. Is it caramel?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even look like caramel right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh.
I actually have 2 skeins of it.
So jealous. Has me curious if Amazon has any Premier caramel yarn.
I don't know.
To put it in my wish list.
You might get it.
Right.
Okay, so when you do the mallard ducks, you do the wing in white, right? Or is the wing in brown?
Brown.
Okay, so the decrease round is white.
No, I add a row of just single round.
So after you do the decreases, you add an extra round. Okay.
Yeah. So you'll do your decrease round in row 6, and then you'll do a single crochet around, and then you'll do row 7 in brown.
Okay. What color do you do for the feet?
It's like gold. Just any color that matches your tones. Like, you could probably use curry. You could probably use gold. But I wouldn't do like a bright orange or a bright yellow. I would probably do something toned down.
I'll probably have to use the mystical for it then. Because that's the only gold I have. I don't have any regular, like, gold yarn.
It works. Premiere.
So, what is everybody working on? I know Kathy told us she was working on Anchor. What is everybody else working on? Or what are you doing if you're watching in the chat?
Basic chenille does not have caramel on Amazon. Wishful thinking.
Melissa's working on her penguins. It's funny. My laptop showed one emoji of a penguin, and this on my phone, it's different.
Dang. I'm like, wait a minute. Brown blush yarn. How about that? What pops up with that?
Yeah, for me it does. But now I have an HP MacBook, and I have a Samsung phone. So that may be why that my emojis look different.
I also have a Samsung phone, but I haven't. I think it's MSI or MCI laptop.
Mm-hmm.
MSI. I just look. See, we do see the face, but it's like the whole body, but it's like cartoonized on the phone. And then on the computer, it looks like a realistic side profile with like the little orange patch on the side of the face.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that we were seeing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And for the people watching, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. That would be helpful.
Yes. Gross. The only yarns that it's showing me is like a whole bunch of like velvet / like Sweet Snuggles Light type texture, dark brown yarns, and then like taupe in burnout blanket.
you.
Feels terrible.
Yeah, They just need to get rid of that yarn.
I agree. Well, it was worth a try.
See, what they need to do is make a brown in the mystical yarn.
Uh-huh.
That would be nice.
I don't know if I would gravitate towards that one, but it definitely could be useful.
I was thinking I could use it like on a horse or a mallard. Because, like, who did it? The Celestial Homebody did it in the gray cloud mystical one. And it actually looked pretty good. It really
Okay.
did. So if they made the right shade of brown, it might would turn out right.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Hey, have you plugged in your phone?
It is plugged in, yes.
Okay, I only asked because I had to plug in mine.
I
we
remember
got one
before we started.
Yeah, as we went live, I plugged mine in once I put it back on my tripod.
Yes.
I have liked having my tripod, though. It has helped a lot.
I'm glad. I'm
Well, I can
glad
just do
that
the
sorry. I was just gonna say I'm glad that the one your
mother-in-law.
member, thank you. I was gonna say family member got you has been working better.
Yeah. I like the other one when I'm on my desk and I need to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not actually using my phone. It's great to have. But when I actually need to use my phone, it just doesn't get tall enough.
Oh,
But it
okay.
wasn't But it really wasn't meant to. It was only $8. So, like, it was just something I needed her to give her a gift idea last year, and that's well, not last year. It's now the year before. And that was just something I could just think of. I was like, you know what? I sit with my phone near me and using it for patterns or scrolling on Discord or looking at things on Instagram when I'm crocheting. I'll just put it right there. Or I'm
Mhm.
listening to music. So I got the phone stand for that. So I didn't get rid of it. It's still on my desk. So
The one that the one I sent you for your birthday. How does that one work?
it's okay. I feel like my phone, the way
Not your-
it's set up, isn't. I don't know.
Like it
Gotta
doesn't
play
fit
around
right?
with it. I gotta play around with it a little bit more.
Okay. I mean, it wasn't same thing. It wasn't like a super expensive option. It was just like, you know what? I think Haley could use something like this. And then it occurred to me, like, when I was there, like, oh yeah, dummy, she records on her iPad. That's not gonna work for the iPad.
Yeah, like I do a lot of my recording on my iPad and stuff, but I might take this more for like markets and stuff. So
Okay. Now, do you have a tripod for your iPad yet?
no.
Okay. Well, that's something, put it on your list. It may not be an immediate thing, but
Yeah,
it can-
that's something I'm gonna ask family for, because it's something I can tell my mother-in-law to go and get once I find it.
Fair.
Because she's always needing cute. She's always needing a gift for me. So
Maybe. If not,
she
you'll have an accumulation of all kinds of phone stands.
Well, no, what I'll do is once I get my iPad stand, I'm going to choose a couple. I'll keep the phone stand you got me because I'll probably take it to market. I'm going to leave my good phone stand here at the house. And that's also why it's like I was like, ooh, the size it folds up to and everything like that. This would be great for markets. So it went straight into a market tote. Like I used it once and straight into a market tote it went.
Yeah.
And then like I have my one for my desk, and now I have this one. So like I won't need another phone stand after this. Like they each have a purpose.
Yes.
Because that's something like I'm trying to like when I'm looking in my craft room and I'm trying to decide getting rid of something or like donating something. Does this give me value? If it doesn't give me value, then I have no problem letting it go. But if it gives me just still a little bit of value, then I'm hanging on to it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's like, all right, I've had this for 3 years now. How many times have I actually used it?
yeah. Cody said he would like to see me use my Cricut more often, and I said I would too. Actually, I just need a reason to.
I mean, we can spend that workday we were talking about Pinterest searching for ideas. Things that interesting ideas that you could somehow add into your business. Something that might spark creativity and joy.
Yeah.
Something tells me that you're going to need something new. Like,
Yeah, that's what it is. I gotta find something new.
yeah, like a new creative thing.
Yeah. See, I just don't know, like, for market signs, like, what I would actually use it for. But, like, if I'm gonna need, like, cause, like, I know, like, once a child gets big enough and they start having, like, the 100 day of school, they'll have Valentine's Day and all this. You'll want to make their shirts for their party days and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Unless we have a little girl. And so, I at least would like to do it for, like, their first year of school.
by then, I feel like your Cricut's going to be obsolete, though.
Not my Cricut Maker.
Oh.
Yeah, I have one of the newest Cricut Makers. But now I will tell you, my Explorer 2 is still kicking it, and it's been 6 years.
Good to
Well,
know.
no. Actually, no. It's been 10 years. 9 years was this, so it's going on 10 this year. I had to think about that because I was like, when did I buy that? Now I was like, wait, I bought that as a Christmas gift to myself the first year I started working. And I was 18. So, I mean, it still works. I mean,
Well, Haley, here's something you can use for your Cricut. Your Cricut can make you your logo tags.
they can't. It can. I just don't want to.
That would be
I
a good
did.
business.
I did think about, because I've got sticker paper, and I was
Mhm.
like, I could make stickers to like give out in my packages and stuff like that. So that's something I've been playing around with. So I think Cuddy asked me what I needed to do that. And I said, well, I'll need to do a service thing that I can write off for my business to be able to draw and do all the things. I said, but I'll also need a pen that's compatible with my iPad.
I
I have
got
never used a Cricut, so I have no clue what they do. Cricut, my Cricut can do just about anything. I have
Yep.
3 Cricuts. I have the Cricut Maker, I have the Cricut Explorer Air, and I have the Cricut Joy.
Yeah. The Cricuts can literally do anything.
Kathy said, OMG, my daughter gave me her Cricut, and I have 2 sewing machines. I want to start using them also. Yeah. Well, okay, so I bought the Explorer 2 like 9 years ago. We're just gonna say 9 because December was 9. And like I started making cups, t-shirts. Like I was working in a daycare. I needed a shirt every week until I got all the things that they used all the things for. Because we had Ninja Turtle Day, Superhero Day. I made all kinds of things with my Cricut. Like that's what I started Haley's Design Studio out as, was a Cricut business. And then I started doing the cups. and the I would get those desks, those little lap trays from Hobby Lobby, and put a design on it. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I had a kid, like, I made one that was Toy Story, and oh my gosh, that little boy loved his. He brought it to school one day to show off.
Oh boy.
And like once he got older, and I was like, oh. So yeah, so it was neat. I liked doing it, and I made like 5 of those. Yeah. What else? I got a whole bunch of those elves, those little plush elves from Dollar Tree, and I would personalize those and sell those. And then I would sell, like, get the Easter baskets from Dollar Tree and personalize those. So, like, I mean, I learned how to do a lot on the Cricut. And you learn very quickly. You overheat white and you will burn it. So you have to, like, when everyone was when we were in the lounge, it was just me and her. At the moment, she was working on a white shirt. I didn't realize it. I said, if I had known you were working on white, I would have told you to be careful. Because she was using parchment paper, which is all well and good. That if you have nothing else, that's fine. But I have like a nylon sheet or something that is like meant for the heat. So, and I told Erin, because she went buying it off of Michael's and stuff, I said, well, when you want to like test something out in all the other colors, I ordered my stuff off of Amazon, and we get the 12 by 12 sheets, and those sheets would last me forever to use, because I would get one that had like 40 different colors in it.
That's
So
what I
like
did.
so any color I needed, I had it. Like I even had camo. So
Yep. You can use your Cricut and you can make leather or faux leather tags for your plushies. Or hats if you make them, stuff like that. You can with the right blade and the right settings, you can like carve out wood to make like earrings and stuff.
yeah,
They're same settings. You can etch designs into like plexiglass. You can create, like Haley being a teacher, granted she's teaching older kids now, but like for younger kids, you can make like the letter boards, like the practice writing 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, yada yada. And like because I wanted my mom to make a bunch of that stuff for the kids. She did not, but it was a good ask. You
I
can do both.
understand why. I
Huh?
hated making stuff. I hated making stuff for other people. Like I liked making stuff for me and like
Yeah.
my business, but like if family asked me to make anything, I hated it. Like I don't like for my mom to ask me to make her anything. Like she's like, if I buy the sweatshirt, will you put this on there? And I'm like, I guess. I hate doing it.
I think my mom is the same way, and I get it because I am too. Like, I don't like it when my family asks me to crochet things for them. Like, I might spontaneously crochet something for them, but I don't like being asked to make anything.
Yeah.
So I do get it, but it was part of it was, she was trying to find new things to make with her Cricut. She was trying to learn how to use it in different ways. She was trying to learn different things that she could use it for to grow her business. So like we were like, go ahead, practice it on something you make for the kids. You got to practice making it anyways. The first one or two you make is not going to be stale quality. Like, if you don't want to make something for yourself, make something for the kids. Yeah, did not happen. Which is fine. Some of it too is like the overwhelm of when there's so many things that you want to make, just eventually getting there never happens.
See, I don't have that problem.
My mom and I do.
Well,
We
I know
definitely
you.
do. I don't fall far from the tree when it comes to my mother.
But no, like to break it down for y'all, I have 3 Cricuts. I have a sewing machine, an embroidery machine, a serger. Well, I guess I count it as 2 separate things, but my sewing machine can do both. It can do the embroidery and the sewing. But then with my Cricut, if we break it down even further, I have my Cricut Joy that makes only small things. My bigger Cricuts are for my bigger projects. So, and then then I have all of my yarn I have. So, like, and then like I hand paint safety eyes. Like, it's just a lot. Like, I tell people, I say, if you walk in my craft room, I don't have just a single craft. I have everything.
That's where Haley's ADHD shows itself. For 1,000
ADD.
crafts.
ADD. My diagnosis was ADD.
I know. They reclassified it. Now it's all
No,
called ADHD.
no. I'm not hyper. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. They
Not
really need to go back and separate those two, because you can be ADD and be as calm as a hornet. If you have ADHD, you are hyper and you are a whole different type of like focus problems. People with ADD, it's not even that they lose focus. It's more about losing interest. With a person with ADHD, the second something else catches their eye, they're gone. I could tune it out and still stay focused on something that I like to do. So as long as my interest was there, my focus was there. But someone with ADHD doesn't always have that control. So no, to my definition, those two need to be separate, because you don't even take the same medicine if you're on ADD. You have ADD versus ADHD. Because my ADD medicine was very different than people who had ADHD. They tried it's the one that starts with an R. Ritalin?
Mhm.
They tried that. Mm-mm. Then they tried one other one, and it didn't work. So then they tried Focalin, and then that was the one. And when they did diagnose me with and I had my diagnosis, but I also had that with the Focalin, they were like, yes, she definitely has ADD. Because Focalin is not one that they typically prescribe for someone who has ADHD.
Archer took it.
Yeah, it's not one that they typically. But now,
It didn't work.
mind you, that's 21 years ago.
Yeah. Well, it
But
didn't work on him, so we quickly switched off of that one. That one turned him into a little zombie.
yeah,
Like it worked way too well on him.
mhm.
But it could have also been his size. Like, I don't know how old you were initially when they first put you on it.
I was Archer's age.
Okay. Gonna say, like,
I
you
was
never know.
first grade.
Okay. I think yeah, that would have been the same age because it was last year for Archer. Um Archer, they initially tried to give him Guanafance, Guanafazine, something like that. Um But at the time, he couldn't take a pill. So it wasn't going to work. So we skipped it. So then they put him on Vyvanse. Vyvanse barely worked. And then all of a sudden, Vyvanse turned him into a feral beast. And I don't mean that lightly. His emotional control was so severely affected that, like, you might understand this a bit better than most, honestly, but you think about when, someone with autism has like an actual meltdown
Mm-hmm.
and there is no reasoning, there is no real interjecting, sometimes you just have to sit on the floor and hold them. Like, it was that. Like, he got so upset over something, I don't even remember what now, that I could look him in the face and like his eyes were empty. It was like looking at a wild animal. His personality was not there anymore. And it was like that day I called the doctors, like, we need to get him off of Vyvanse. I don't want him on this anymore because this is not my kid. And so we switched him from that. They switched him to the Focalin. The Focalin instantly turned him into a zombie. We're like, no, this isn't going to work for him because they started him on the lowest dose and it was clearly too much for him at the time. So we went from Focalin to Asteris, I think is what the other one was. And that worked for a little while, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't ever really enough. And then all of a sudden it's like it stopped working. I think he had a growth spurt. And going to the next dose was going to be too much. But staying at the dose that he wasn't feasible either. So, and our insurance would not allow him to try the extended release. So the overnight stuff that you take before bed and it stays in your system forever. It wouldn't allow us to switch to that until we had tried and failed 3 different meds in that first classification first.
Mm-hmm.
So going through those 3 and failing them, that's when they were able to start him on Journey PM. And that's been working the best so far.
Yeah.
I'm just a little sad because we are officially at the highest dose. And, he's going to go through another growth spurt at some point, which means that it's going to stop working. So what do we switch to then? Like, this is what has worked the best.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Either way, though.
Yeah, but that's why I say kids with ADHD, their emotions are so, like, don't get me wrong, I am an emotionally, like, person. So that's why, like, they tried some of the ADHD medicines. Was because I was getting very emotional. I was getting upset over the littlest things. Like, my teacher was upsetting me. She didn't like me. I knew she didn't like me. And so my mom was like, she's like, I know she doesn't like her. Like, I know this. Like, I caught her talking about her. But I need her to get through the first grade. Like let's get past this teacher. And he was like, well, let's try some medicines that, because she's showing these emotional problems that are for ADHD kids and stuff like that. Let's try some of those medicines first. And once I had failed 2, he was like, no, we need to tackle the ADD. So the Focalin didn't make me a zombie per se, but I will say this much, like, I had much better control of, like, everyday tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I didn't get as easily upset with things. I mean, I still, like, my mom to this day was like, she will always have an RBF with this kind of stuff because that's her personality. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't care what medicine we put her on. If a teacher doesn't like her, she's liable to be like every other kid with this type of thing and be like, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't like you either. So if she ever tells a teacher that, like, the school needs to be aware that there's a reason why she is saying that she does not like you. These kids just don't go saying that.
No.
Because my doctor called the school and was like, I want to know why my patient is so emotionally distraught. Because, like, I had to leave school one day. I was crying so badly. And it was just the assistant teacher. So she literally called my mom on her personal cell and was like, look, you are going to have to come and get her. Like, whatever she said before she left upset her so badly, I can't get her to do anything for me. I said, she's to the point to where she has made herself sick.
Oh.
And to this day, I have no recollection of what that teacher said to me. But from that day on, like, I refuse to speak to that teacher. Like, if I had to turn something in, it literally sat on my desk and she had to come and get it. Or I would turn it into the assistant teacher. Like, I avoided her like the darn plague. And so then once I went to 2nd grade and made straight A's, didn't have any problems, like, they told my 2nd grade teacher, and she was like, she's not going to have those problems here. Like, I'm very good with the kids. We have a good reward system. Like, she did treasure box and all that kind of stuff. And, like, I immediately, like, it was like a different, like, room perspective for me.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I had a problem or I voiced something to her, she listened. Now, she did not catch one of the boys pulling on my hair and stuff. So when I turned around the one day and slapped his desk and told him that if he didn't quit, I was going to slap his hand next, she was like, okay, I will move you. She's like, I called it now. I can now document that this has happened. Because, like, she's never, like, he would do it when she was writing on the board.
Yeah.
So, like, she never actually saw it until then. Because we were taking a test, and he thought he was going to be slick and grab my hair ponytail. And I was one of those kids, you did not touch my hair. Like, my ADD was so bad about the people I let touch my hair. Because I was getting lice so many times because other kids were coming to school with it.
Yeah.
It was bad. And so, like, you know, I just remember, like, nowadays, like, now being a teacher, I hold a lot of those concepts, like, that I grew up with. And I tell the kids, I'm like, it's okay that you don't like a teacher. And they're like, what? I'm like, it's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I remember things from my childhood. I remember those teachers who were like, would just say anything to you, not have a disregard to how it made you feel or anything like that. I said, y'all are like a hormone roller coaster. So for any of you dealing with that at 15 years old, like, girls, we're not even going to talk about the hormones you go through. But you just take a normal kid before they hit puberty. They're still on a roller coaster. They're going to have good days and they're going to have bad days. There are going to be days where you feel like I'm the safest person in the world. But then there are other days where you could feel like picking up a desk and throwing it at me, you know? I said, you're going to have those days because you're going to have those bouts of fight or flight. I said, there's no reason for it. I said, you know, that's one of the things that we have to learn how to control. But I don't expect y'all to have control over that right this minute. That's something you learn how to dictate as your body changes. Your hormones are going to change every year from when you're 10 to your into your 30s. Things are going to change constantly. Every year, every season, you're going to go through something new. And they were like, well, we wish other teachers. I said, they just forget what it's like to be a kid and to be a teenager. I said, I've had a lot of things happen to me. I said, I've also had a lot of teachers who had my brother who then automatically had a dislike to me or had an automatic like to me. So they either disliked me or they liked me. It was one or the other.
Yeah.
There was no middle ground. So for any of you who have siblings that have come through the school and you have a teacher like, oh, here comes another one. Whether it's good or bad, it just makes you feel bad when you hear a teacher say that. Especially like if you're the youngest of 4. And they're like, one was like, yeah. It definitely makes you, I'm like, I wouldn't do that. I said, I learned last year a lot of how to deal with y'all emotionally. I'm gonna be honest with you. I take what y'all say half truth. So you could be lying, you could be telling the truth. I'm not gonna question that in that moment. That's not my job. My job is to state your emotional thing first. Then we decide if that. I said, because with you girls, a boy could say, I don't like you anymore. And then 5 minutes later say, well, we're back together, and y'all be like all over the place. Crying in the bathroom and then overly excited, and yeah, no. Because you send your body into like an overload. Like everything in your body is like now like super like hypertensive. You're waiting for the next thing to happen and you just don't know it. And they're like, what? I said, I'm a different type of teacher. I said, I'm just one of those. I remember what it was like being 15 years old and I had a teacher cock an attitude with me. So guess what that made me want to do? Catch an attitude right back.
And
know?
I did.
I did. I made that. That man cried when my daddy got done with him. And like, I told the kids that story and they were like, why'd you accept the write-up? I said, because it's a lesson I learned. I know the first time I said it that I did cuss. The second time he wrote me up, I did not cuss. I know that. But should I have been having that type of conversation at school? And they're like, no, I guess not. I'm like, exactly. It's just, I knew that. And so that was my consequence. Like, I knew that. Like, but I'm not going to fight the teacher on whether he thinks what he heard or not. Because we all misunderstand things. I mean, can y'all honestly say you know exactly what I'm saying every time something comes out my mouth? And they're like, no, sometimes we hear mess-ups. I said, exactly. Teachers do the same thing. You know, I said it was my first write-up, and, like, I just didn't care. But then when he caught the attitude with me the second day, that's when I was like, okay, no. We're not gonna do this. Like, this is over with.
Yeah.
And
See,
so what?
I have the opposite issue in the sense that, like, I was the oldest kid. So I come through the school and I got good grades, and for the most part, I behaved. So the teachers all have this image of me when my brother comes into their class.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother's like, no, I'm the second child. I'm the crazy one. And they're like, oh no. So then he starts building his own reputation, and like from grade to grade, you know, the teachers tell him the next grade up of like, you better watch out for this one. He's trouble. And from that point, it really caused an issue because he, you know, they had this predisposition of him. And there was no room for him to be different. There wasn't any room for him to improve. They already expected him to be the bad kid. He was being punished like he was the bad kid for every little tiny thing anyways. So, but I didn't have that, you know, teachers looking at me like, oh, I had your such and such.
Yeah.
But I did have a few teachers who actually had my parents as students. So there were a couple of those of like, I remember your mom in class. If you're anything like her, we're in trouble. Like, only my mouth, Mr. So-and-so, only my mouth.
See,
Like-
and that was the thing. Like, my 10th grade year, we had a class where the senior teacher, he only taught one group of 10th grade. He wanted his last year, he wanted to teach 10th grade. And so they selected kids of that would do well in his class. Well, about that time, I was in 10th grade. So, not only did he have my brother 2 years prior, but he got to have me before he retired. And so it was also my first year doing JRTC. And so, like, one day, I don't know, I was all kinds of in a funk. But I had stopped taking my medicine at that point because I had most of it under control. And, like, he just looked at me one day and he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I just got this funk going on. I don't know. He's like, well, if you need to go talk to one of the female teachers, you just go on down them stairs. Because his one was up the stairs.
Uh-huh.
It was the only classroom upstairs. So, like, he just sees me middle of his class. Like, I just get up and I just walk out. And, like, I sit at the bottom of the stairs and I'm, like, bawling for no reason whatsoever. And so, like, my sergeant happened to walk by and he's like, "What is wrong?" And I said, "I don't know." And so he was like, "Well, let's go take a walk." And so, like, he sent him a message saying, like, "Hey, I've got her. We're gonna go take a walk because this is not like her to be just this overly emotional." And to this day, I don't know what caused it. But he
Hormones.
didn't ask me after that. We just walked. We just walked and just talked, and he would tell me about my cousin and things that he did. But now that person knew me when I was little. Like, I mean, I was elementary school age. Like, 2nd, 3rd grade is how long he knew me. So when he finally had me, he was like, "I've had all of them." He says, "By far, you were one of my favorites." And I said, he says, "You've got a lot of spunk to you, but you stand by what you say."
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. But also, I was the kid who got one of the coaches in trouble because he told me I wasn't allowed to go to the bathroom. Yeah. So, like, we had only 3 minutes to get somewhere between class. And that day, like, I had to, like, book it from PE to the other side of the school. And so, like, we only had a minute left, and, like, there was no way I was gonna be able to go to the bathroom, wash my hands and everything, and come back and be in time for class.
Yeah.
And one day, he was like, because, like, it was an emergency, he said, "If you walk out, you will get a tardy, and I will write you up." And I said, "Okay." I continued to walk to the bathroom that was literally 10 feet from his classroom. Yeah, because our building curved. So, like, he was at the front of the curve. And so, like, I literally, like, curved to that side part to go into the middle hallway. And it was right there on the corner. So, like, it was literally 10 feet from his classroom. Which the assistant principal office was on this side. So, we had his classroom and then this. So, after I got done, I sent my mom a text while I was in the bathroom. And I said, "Mom, I'll let you know right now, I'm going to get a write-up today." And she's like, "Why are you getting a write-up?" I said, "Because I went to the bathroom because it was an emergency." And she was like, "Do what?" So then she was like, "You know what? I'm going to call Coach Smith. Coach Smith's going to come check on you and find out what happened." I said, "Okay." So then I went back into the classroom. Coach Smith comes knocking on the door. He said, "Come here." So I get up, and everybody's like, "Ooh." And then in front of everybody, he's like, "Did you have to go to the bathroom? That's the only place you went?" "Yeah." "Did you take your mom in the bathroom?" "Yeah." "Okay. What's the problem?" I said, he was going to write me up. And he was like, "Oh, no, he's not either. If he likes his job, he ain't going to write you up. Go sit down and get your math work done." because I had the man for science. But he loved me. Loved me. Loved me. Like, he was like, you were like one of my grandchildren. Like, I was like, yes. Because, like, my
That's
brother
cool.
played football for JV. So, like, he knew me. Like, I was that, still in his mind, that little third grader that was running around through the football thing. Because I was the only one allowed in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, because my mom would do the snacks and stuff. So, like, I would get free range to go and run around the buildings. Like, I would go and see the JRTC person. Then I'd come back, run see him. And then I would sit on the bleachers and would start fussing at the football players that they messed up and stuff. He's like, you're just one of my grandkids at this point. Like, you're just one of those. Because my mom was like, he's only got 2 hours of practice. I'm not going home to just come back around and come up here. And so it was like, I sat there and did whatever I wanted to. So when I had him in 7th grade, I didn't have any problems. I never had a problem having a teacher or anything like that. And so then 8th grade comes, and then this man told me I couldn't go to the bathroom. I was like, no. You're not about to tell me I can't go to the bathroom. So then he tried to do it again. And so then I had the coach's email. I just sent him an email straight up and told him what was happening. And he come in and he said, do we got any girls that need to go to the bathroom? You can't interrupt my class. He says, I can. And I said, well, so-and-so asked, so-and-so asked, so-and-so asked, so-and-so asked. And now I've asked, and none of us have been allowed to go to the bathroom since the bell rung. He said, it's been 30 minutes. After 10 minutes, these kids can go to the bathroom. But, sir, I'm going to ask you this. You're recently married, right? Yeah? Ask your wife how she would feel if you were telling these girls they couldn't go to the bathroom. And he says, I shouldn't have to. My kids, my wife doesn't know. She's like, no. Your wife is a female, just like all of them are. And he says, and let me tell you something. If a girl stands up and the first thing she does is grab her purse or reach down in her book bag and try to be sneaky to put something in their pocket, well, you know what time of the month it is. I'm just going to be blunt honest with you. You know what time it is. And if you don't know that hint by now, there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just standing there. And so then he got the assistant principal. And they were trying to fuss at me. All I did was get my cell phone out and I just told Mom 911. She called that school ranting and raving. But the coach wasn't backing down. He made all the girls go to the bathroom. And I told him, I said, well, there's probably no toilet paper. He says, I came prepared. He had a whole fresh roll for us.
That's so funny.
Because, like, I sent that in the email. I said, it's bad enough that the bathrooms hardly ever have any toilet paper in it. No, that coach was he was on it. So he never told me that my teacher, he never told me I couldn't go back to the bathroom. But he told another girl. He got written up that day. Finally it was time. And they couldn't do nothing about it because it was the 3rd time he had done it.
Well, you would think he would learn.
Well, the man hated me. He hated me after that first time, and I didn't care. He called my mom in for a parent-teacher conference day one day, and she's like, well, she has a B in your class, so I really don't understand why we're having this conference. If it's about her attitude, we should have done this months ago, because I've heard how you've talked to her. I said, my daughter doesn't record you very much, but on days when you get ugly with her, I know. Because there's not many days that my child comes home and says, Mama, I've got a problem with the teacher.
Uh-huh.
So, if my child comes home and tells me that, then there's a reason for it. So, she's already beaten you to it, and I've heard it. So, just letting you know now, like, whatever beef you got with my daughter, Work it out with her. Because you can dislike my daughter can dislike you. She's just got to get through the rest of this year. We're February. We got 3 months. 3. And then she gone from your class. She will be a 9th grader. You will never see her again because you teach pre-algebra. So,
Yep.
and she doesn't plan on doing basketball. And to be honest with you, she finds you creepy, and I understand why she calls you that. And so offended. And he was just creepy. Like he gave me the creeps.
Well,
Like,
there's probably a reason why. And the fact that he was like targeting the girls, not letting them go to the restroom. Like,
yeah.
did he let the boys go to the restroom?
See, the only thing that stood out was that the girls weren't allowed to go.
That's
And which I get it. I get it. The other girls would take their time in the bathroom. And like they would be gone 5 or 10 minutes. I literally went to the bathroom and came back. Like
Well, and the thing with that too, like I remember when I was in school, there was a boy in my class who he must have had IBS or Crohn's or something like that. You know, if he had to go to the bathroom, he had to go to the bathroom. You can't tell him no. And it literally got to a point where like the family had had enough and they called into the school and they're like, listen, I have a doctor's note for you stating that my child has a medical excuse that if they have to use the restroom, you have to let them. It's an immediate need.
Yeah.
Hi, Mandy.
Hello. But yeah, so like there were a lot of days like where he would just catch an attitude for no. But it was because I didn't go to admin. I didn't have my mom go to admin. I just got my favorite coach who I knew would cause a ruckus and who would make you understand. Because this is not no like skinny coach. No, this was like a 300-pound man. Like he was a big man coming up into the classroom. Like, and the girls were like, "How do you get your weight?" I said, "I have my ways."
I know people.
That's why, like, I have the reputation I do because I keep it that way. For moments like this, when I need something, I just pull in my basket of tricks.
That's so
And
funny.
they're like, "All right."
See, and I was the kid on the opposite of that who, once I got into like probably 11th grade, maybe 10th or 11th grade, I started getting like my attitude really started to come out. And I could not give less of a shit to certain teachers who acted like they were the king of all turds on Turd Mountain.
Yeah.
Just because they're a teacher. Like, I don't give a damn if you're a 40-year-old adult who thinks that they're the boss just because they're a teacher. Like, the amount of times that I have reminded people that respect is earned, not given. You don't just have my respect because you're an adult. You also have to earn my respect, even if I'm a teenager. Like, especially if you give me a reason to not respect you in the first place. Like, you had my respect, you just didn't know it. Now you know that you don't have my respect anymore. So when there were teachers that would be like, no, you can't go use the restroom right now. It's like, all right, but when I piss my pants in front of everybody in your classroom, you're the one cleaning it up. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't cleaning it up. And then they would let me go. And like it would happen stuff like that all the time. Or like, listen, I don't want to have a situation where I end up bleeding through my pants here. Like, can you please let me go? Nobody wants to be put through the embarrassment of that. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize. Well, no, because you didn't ask. I shouldn't have to tell you that it's my lady time of the month for you to let me go to the bathroom. Like, there's 5 minutes between classes, and when my locker is on one side of the school, and your classroom is on the complete other side of the school and upstairs, like, how do you expect me to go from one class that's near this class to my locker to get my supplies, to the bathroom, do everything you got to do to, be sanitary, and then get to your class before the bell rings? 5 minutes is not enough time. Like, and it's not like there's a bathroom anywhere close to this classroom either. So it's, ugh. Teachers stressed me out so bad over stuff like that. And like, I had this one teacher, oh my God, she was the meanest old lady teacher in the world. And the first time I ever got in trouble at school, she was a reading teacher, and it was something along the lines, I think I asked her if I could go to the bathroom. And she was like, no. I was like, but I have to go. Like, it's an emergency. I have to go. Well, you're just gonna have to wait. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. And what did you say? And I turned around and I yelled at her. I said whatever. I was so mad. And she's like, get out. Go sit in the hallway right now. I was like, you know what? Fine. Like, I smacked the desk and everything, and I went and sat out in the hallway. She made me sit out in that hallway for the entire class. So
Oh,
I got my happy ass up, and I went and used the bathroom while I was out there. The bathroom was right across the hallway.
yeah.
And then I got a Saturday detention. And you know
I'm
what
gonna be on
happened?
another 20 minutes and then I'm gonna get off.
That's all right. You know what happened though? When I started getting Saturday detentions, my family made it very clear to the principal. Like, do you plan on bringing her home after the Saturday detention? Because I sure as hell am not driving my car 35 minutes to the school to get her, and then another 35 minutes back home on a Saturday. Especially if I have to work. Or even if I am home, it's my day off. I'm not wasting an hour and a half of my time. Like, you want to punish her? You want to discipline her in some way? Do it on your own time, not on mine.
Yeah, see, we really didn't do detentions. You literally just went and spent a day in ISS. Or like for that teacher's block of the next day, you wouldn't spend it in ISS. That was your detention time. Because we had too many parents who worked and just could not be there.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I got my first write-up, that was what my mom was like, I get it that, she did this, but, like, this is her first write-up. This is her first time ever getting officially in trouble. Can she just not, like, is there not another elective that she can take? Can we not, like, fix the situation now? I said, she sees this man both days. So how am I supposed to know that another incident is not going to occur? Because it was after he had gotten sassy with me. Like my mom and dad were so mad. And I told them, I said, it's not because like someone asked me, they were like, well, did you have to do an ISS? I said, I did one sheet of work. One. Because I didn't have anything else to do. It was my A day. I had PE, then I had pre-biology, which was the only class I had work for. My algebra teacher was not sending me work. She told me she wasn't going to send me work. She didn't feel like I needed to be in ISS for the whole day. And so so I didn't do anything. And so then, like, the lady who did ISS that day happened to know me. Like, her child was in the same school, and she was like, "Why are you in ISS?" I said, "Read the write-up. I mean, read the thing. It's in there." Like I just didn't care. And, like, so she was calling for people to send me work, and he couldn't send me anything because the assistant principal, when he did, I was like, "This is stupid, like, we haven't done any of this." Because the assistant principal came and checked on me because I sent her an email and said that this was stupid, that this was something we had never done before. And she was like, "I'm gonna go ask him." So she went and asked all the students if we had done any of that work before, and they were like, no, this is basically a free block for us." And he was like, "Okay, well, you have a free block." I said, "Bet." I laid my happy tail back and went sound to sleep.
We
Four
were not
flat
allowed to sleep in ISS.
Oh, she wasn't going to stop me. And I quote from the assistant principal, "a free block." So I was allowed to sleep. The assistant principal didn't want to make me do ISS.
Mm-hmm.
It was the teacher that kept pushing it, and then I just told her, I said, "I'll take it. It's an A-day." I said, "I'm gonna have one sheet of work to do." Because like it was like March, like we were almost done by the time this happened.
Yeah,
Because like it was starting to get back warm too.
Mhm.
So it was just one of those things.
Our school, so we were one of 3 schools in a district, and I'm not sure when it changed, but at some point, ISS was no longer held at our school. So if anybody got ISS, they had to go to the office in the morning and they would get on a bus, which would take you to another school in the district. And then all of the kids in the district who had ISS that day would be in that one class for the whole day. And then the bus would take you back at the end of the day. So
Mhm.
it wasn't something that you could do like a partial, like, 1 or 2 classes of the day, or if, there was a teacher who wouldn't allow you in their classroom for a period of time, it was an all day thing or not at all. It's so cute.
Yeah, the yarn's a little bit stiff.
Uh-huh.
It's soft, but it's a little stiff.
Same like this.
Yeah. So
But usually, um, I want to say his name was Mr. Mahokey was the teacher's name. He became our athletics director. And
Mhm.
once he became the athletics director, I feel like he was a teacher, but then he wasn't, like, he became like a substitute teacher almost,
Yeah.
or temporary. So he only taught like 1 block of the day or something like that. So then he had his main office in the athletics department office. So he became the person who was in charge of ISS. And athletics director, he was a coach and he was a bit of a hard ass. So he was very much like, you are not going to have your dividers up on your desk unless you have a test that you have to take. You are not going to be sleeping. You need to make sure that you have something to do. You're not going to be on your phone. If I catch you on your phone, I'm going to take it. You're going to have another day of ISS. Like, so if I didn't have active work to do, then like I had a book. I wasn't allowed to crochet in ISS. It's like, why do you hate me? Like, could you not? But I I guess I had it more often than a lot of kids. But mostly like sometimes it was a tardiness issue because clearly I'm chronically late to everything. Um Sometimes it was an attitude issue. Sometimes it's not my fault that I have a chest, okay? I did not choose this as an option. It's not my fault that in high school, they were higher up. So I could not wear the exact same clothing as another student in the building. The exact same shirt. Could not wear it, but they could. And I had big issues with that. Big issues. Listen, you're not going to tell me that I'm not allowed to wear this shirt when so-and-so's allowed to wear this shirt. Like, that is an unfair bias against my body. That is not okay. I didn't choose this body, okay? Like, that's not fair.
You bring that up. So our senior year, we were doing these presentations for English and for history. Now, our history teacher told us that we had to be school appropriate in whatever we wore. That if it wasn't school appropriate, we would get either points taken off or whatever disciplinary action. Well, I kept seeing these girls wear all these kind of things they weren't supposed to be wearing. So I just told my mom, and my mom called the history teacher. She's like, listen, she doesn't complain a lot about your class. He says, oh, don't worry, I've taken care of the dress code issue. I got it approved that I can take 15 points off their grade automatically for a dress code violation. That means I don't have to do the paperwork for the dress code, but I can put it on there. Did you follow being dressed formally and school appropriately? Because that was one of the rules of the assignment, if they dressed as their person. Which meant that if the person wore a short dress, you were allowed to wear leggings up underneath it and then change afterwards. Like you were only allowed to wear it for your presentation, and then you changed. Because he was like, everything has to be covered. And she was like, okay. She was just concerned. And he's like, no, and I actually gave her credit a lot more than some of the others. So I know her grade was not great because she's just not a good public speaker. So don't freak out about this grade. We've got other grades. Like, she's good. She's gonna have an A still at the end of all this. And I was like, okay. Like, that was my concern. Like, and he came and pulled me out of class because my mom called him on his blending block. He's like, listen, you're good. Your grade's set. We're good. And so then he was like, because I had a boy that kept bothering me, and his mama did not like my mama. Straight up did not like my mama. All because our 6th grade thing, my mom got Subway cookies for the whole 6th grade. Like, she had those donated and made sure that there were plenty of chocolate chip, plenty of everything else, which, I mean, I had my own cookies because the man came and delivered them to the school. And he, so I came up there to get them because my mom wasn't there. And he had this little bag, and it had me a Subway sandwich in it, my favorite sandwich, and 4 to 5 cookies. I can't remember how many was actually in there. One for me to have at lunch, and then one for me to have for the rest of the day. Because he had to bring the cookies first thing that morning because we were having an all-day field day.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing for lunch. And he was going to bring the sandwich, Mom was going to bring the sandwiches when she came. But he wanted to go ahead and bring the cookies personally because he wanted to bring me my sandwich that he made specifically for me to have. But my daddy took care of, like, the Subway shop. Like, he cut the grass, made the flowers, all of that. Like, that was his job. So, but anyways, so you were allowed 1 cookie if all you did was get 1 plate of food. But the boy did not want to get a plate. He did not like sandwiches. And so he didn't find it fair that I had more cookies, first off. Second of all, he didn't find it fair that other kids were eating cookies. My mom was like, you get a cookie with every plate you get. They're actually going and sitting down and eating the food that's on their plate. I can't help it that you don't want to get a plate of food to eat to have another cookie. And she says, and I can't help it that the man that brought the cookies brought my daughter more cookies. I did not have any part in that. That was his doing. He knows how particular my daughter is about her cookies, and that she only likes one kind, and she did not want any of the other kinds touching her cookie. Like, I had no control over that. But,
Bring the cookies.
so anyways, his mama disliked my mama from that day forward. So then, like, we started playing tennis, and I had the other brother in there, and he caught an attitude one time. I said, you catching an attitude with the wrong one. I got a racket in my hand. I will break it over your head. And the coach was like, whoa. And I said, you just better realize. And his mama said, do what? I said what I said. I break this racket over your son's head if he catches an attitude with me again. And turned around, slung it up on my shoulder, and walked off. Once I hit 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, like, I was done putting up with shit from men.
Sounds like Haley in high school was scary.
I was, because, like, I was the quiet, scary. Like, I was the quiet kid you did not want to see blow up. So there was one day, like, they talked shit about Alabama all day long. You couldn't talk crap about any of the other teams because they were already crap. State was losing all the time. Ole Miss was losing all the time. The only one that was actually doing any good was LSU. So you had these State fans being all, oh, and I was like, I don't care. But don't touch my cup and leave me alone. If you want to talk trash, look at your buddies and talk trash. Like, leave me alone. And so then he just kept on, and he kept on. And finally, the coach sticks his head in, and he's like, look, I have to stand at the door. If she hits you when I walk out this door, I am not writing her up. I am writing you up for harassment. Leave her alone. He says, you know, we can't help it that she's a Bama fan because the teacher was a State fan. And I said, excuse you. And he was like, oh, you know, I'm just messing with you. But anyways, I don't get to make jokes like that very often. I said, I know. So, like, he took that crack just to make me laugh and to smile and to try to lighten the mood. But he was like, if you mess with her cup and it gets spilt in my classroom, you are cleaning it up.
Yeah.
So, like I set my book bag down. I'm getting all comfortable in my seat. I set it here. He didn't pay any attention to what his book bag did because he had already picked up my cup, and he didn't set it back where I had it. He set it back on the edge. Well, guess what his book bag did? It knocked it off and sent the lid flying. And he just buzzed for the janitor. He says, we need a mop and a bucket. So the janitor come. He said, oh, come here, boy. You better learn how to clean up. Got paper towels, made him clean it all up, made him mop the floor. And she was like, this turn, this girl ain't about to clean up your mess. He says, y'all sling these book bags around without any common courtesy to these kids who bring drinks in. If it was your cup, you would be mad. And he said, and you better find that lid before you leave my class or I am writing you up. Destructive property is what that's called. And he was like, I did not. And I said, you better find it is all I know. His mama went raving and hooting, and all I did was just sit there in the office. And my mom was called, and my mom just sent me a text, do I need to show my face? And I said, no. She went to hooting and hollering. And I said, are you done yet? You sound worse than this wall over here talking behind me. Because it was a loud, like, color. Like, it was so loud. I was like, this wall is louder than you are. And it's even getting quiet. So that means you must have put the wall to sleep. Like, I'm over all this. And she was so, like, she was so taken back by it. And even the principal was like, I'm like, can I go now? I said, because Coach Kelly is not going to write me up. He is not. I said, I said, you gotta realize, your son was asking for this. And he better be glad he didn't get slapped, because he likely got slapped for the harassment that I suffered this year. Yeah, we had a janitor, and she was a really old lady. But she was good at her job. Like, that lady tried her hardest to make sure the bathrooms were clean and everything. We had the most respect for our janitor. If you were a female, you had respect for her. And these younger ones that were coming up behind us, we were all like, y'all are nasty leaving these bathrooms like this. Like, she should not have to clean up after you like your mama has to clean up after you, which should not be happening either.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that janitor just was like, he would not let her clean it up. He was like, nope, he made the mess, he gonna mop it. I'm gonna show him how I clean my house. If that's what it takes, that's what we're gonna do.
Well, the big thing too is, like, he was warned. If you knock it down, you will clean it up.
He was warned.
It's not like it was a surprise to him.
No.
Alyssa, we also had a janitor. We had a couple of them. We had a school day janitor. And then we had a nighttime janitor. And the nighttime janitor, I feel like we didn't always have, but the daytime janitor that we had, I can't remember what the heck his name was, but he was an older guy. He had been a janitor for many, many years. Like, he retired from doing it there. My phone did the thing. But he was definitely one of those janitors that you read about on Facebook of, like, they weren't just a janitor. You know, they were like a parent to kids whose parents don't care. They were like the secret clothes closet. They were the ones with, like, the feminine products hubby, you know, just they were this, like, undisclosed secret amazing person that the school had. And so everybody was so sad when he retired. But in the couple of years leading up to it, one of our high school graduates, he was ahead of me, his brother graduated the year ahead of me, and then the older brother, I'm pretty sure it was the older brother, was a janitor for a while. And if I'm not as long as it's the same person, he's actually passed away now. He got into a bad car accident, but he took over for the main janitor. So, like, he was the nighttime person, and then, yeah. But it was really cool. I feel like most schools have one of those types of janitors of, like, you know, it's the person that you sneak into the janitor's closet at some point to cry or to find something or do something, and then, like, you become friends with the janitor, basically. Alyssa says, you're lucky the principal at the time said it was a waste of funds to have one every day. They would have one come in once a month at night. That's neglect.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they can't do that here. We have too many health codes.
Yeah.
But now we also have to remember, she is in Canada, so their rules may be different than ours.
That's so weird, though. Like, I never would have thought that. That's crazy. And you think about it, if you didn't have a janitor in there every single day, who's taking out the garbage? Like, who's cleaning the bathrooms every day? You got 500 kids at least in one building using bathrooms every day. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I imagine that, like, they probably had the cafeteria ladies kind of like double duty in that sense of like, not only are you cooking the food, but you're also cleaning the kitchen when you're done. But I'm pretty sure that like our janitor was responsible for cleaning the kitchen and stuff like in the cafeteria and all that at night as well.
See, ours doesn't have to, like, he takes out the garbage, but our cafeteria people have to clean up.
What? Okay, let me rephrase. I think that they cleaned up after themselves. Like I think they cleaned up after themselves, but I think he did the deep cleaning, like at the end of the night, like mopping, stuff like that.
Yeah. But no, ours, he doesn't do any of that. He, literally just takes out the trash. So,
Alyssa said that principal got canned after she graduated, and it was just her school, and that she was a rude woman, and thankfully she was canned. Karma got her.
oh yeah.
I hope that the new principal decided to hire a regular janitor.
And like, how does a person even say like that's a necessity or not to have? Like, our school would not function without a janitor.
Oh. Even if you only had a janitor that came on the weekends, that
Yeah.
still wouldn't be enough.
No.
Like, that's so crazy. How do you clean an entire school in one night?
I don't know. Alright. But I'm gonna get off.
Wait, I'm almost done with my last one.
Hurry up!
I'm literally like on the second to last row. Hang on.
What, girl, I'm not waiting any longer. I've already waited probably too long. 'Cause what time is it?
10:36.
Exactly. I went 6 minutes over waiting on you.
I'm sorry. All right, hang on. I'm almost there. I gotta pull the dang yarn while I'm using it. Speed crochet. How fast can I do it?
Yeah, I bet she is.
What's worse is that like not only do I feel the pressure right now, but like I also hear the Jeopardy theme song in my brain.
Yeah.
Just telling me like you're taking too long.
Well, you really are, because like I'm crashing on you.
It's like
I can
I'm
feel it.
done. I'm done right this second.
Yeah.
Hang on. Like 2 stitches.
Tomorrow I'm probably gonna switch to something else.
Need a break from the birds.
Yeah. But I mean, I got 14 done. So,
That's a lot.
yeah.
Got it. Okay. How many did I finish before I started? 2?
I don't know.
I think it was 2.
Well, I knew you had finished 1.
Well, I did. I think I had 1 finished from last night, and then I finished 1 to completion before getting on live.
Okay, because like I said, I knew you had 1 done from last night, but
Okay. All my duckies. Okay. We're there. 8
Yeah.
or ducks.
Yeah.
They were half finished. I had all the heads and the white neck on them done. But
Yeah.
looks good.
All right, guys. For the few of you that joined us tonight, thank you. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll start building some more of our other followers from Cat's channel that joined us on Sunday. Hopefully they will start joining us back on this day, but we shall see. But I hope everybody has a great night. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all the things. Bye, guys. And Kat, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Great. Bye.
Bye.